Going to say hello to Ruby, who's called us. Hi, Ruby. Hi, Ruby. Are you with us there?
I am.
Oh, good, good. We can hear you. Fire away with your question.
Yeah, I'm a bit concerned about this announcement of this funding for the A to B yacht race. I'm a ratepayer and a mother of two, and my partner was recently made redundant at TY, so times are tough. You know, 440,000 from the government won't go very far, so, you know, is Invercargill City going to throw some money into the pot or venture, or, you know, how far will this go?
Well, it's a bit like the inner city upgrade, Ruby. Until we get the design costs figured out, we won't really know what the contribution will be, what contribution will be expected from us. But I would say, I mean, we've taken a lot of risks as a city because the Statistics New Zealand said that by now we would be down to 30,000 people. We're just a small provincial town, and we turned that around. And I believe the two key factors that turned it around and saved us from population decimation were education. I think that was a key point, attracting thousands of students. We had to put 7 million into that, but I think it was the best contribution that our community has ever made in terms of the survival of Invercargill.
But back to the A to B yacht race, I mean, I'd like to know what sort of scoping has been done around this. I mean, you know, go down there and have a look at Bluff. I mean, where are the moorings for these yachts going to be? You know, I've been to Fremantle. It's a beautiful harbour city, absolutely fabulous. You know, any yachtsman would want to go there. Fremantle's the same. Bluff just doesn't cut it. I mean, when are you hoping for these yachts to come? Next year or the year after? Or it's going to have to be a huge amount of infrastructure and I mean a huge risk for city ratepayers. At what benefit?
Well, I think that we've talked to Ali Timms about this, of course, and she's understanding of what a project like this could mean for the city. The second thing after education that I was going to say is the events industry. I think the events industry has done, that's the second biggest factor that has turned the city around. And yes, they are challenges. How are we going to, where are we going to moor them? Where will the anchorages be? But to me, they're exciting challenges. I mean, when can you remember a time ever where central government has put $440,000 towards an event in Southland?
Well, they're putting a significant amount of money into the cycle trail in northern Southland, which is great.
Into what?
Into the cycle trail in northern Southland, which is good, and that's not just an event, that's an ongoing thing that will, you know, it's not just an event, it's something that will go for 8 months of the year. I know that Environment Southland has come out very strongly and said, you know, we don't support the stadium. Just wondering why they would support the A to B yacht race, and when exactly is this event supposed to be happening?
Well, I think events are ongoing. If you look at the Burt Munro Challenge, it's been going every year for 8 years. It brings $1 million into the city. It brings thousands of visitors in. I know we had to invest to get it going as a council. You always have to invest if you want to attract people or you want to attract money. But I think Southport could be facing some real challenges in terms of the aluminium exports that it has, container port developments in competition with other ports. We've seen what's happened to Timaru recently when shipping lines change their routes. So I think we should seriously be looking like other cities all over New Zealand in developing ports as centres for recreation, not just centres for trade. And I went to the America's Cup in Auckland with a busload of Southlanders. We set up a stall there. We made good profits out of that event. Events are just the lifeblood of cities, right from Santa parades through to...
You haven't answered my question. When's this A to B yacht race supposed to be arriving?
2014.
Right, so not much time, and I know at Bluff there's limited berthing facilities. What's going to happen? And I mean, you know, there's not too much interesting nightlife down there, or the pubs are not looking that great. How on earth are you going to get all that happening within, you know, less than 2 years, and who's going to pay for it?
Well, I doubt if many other cities could do it, to be honest, but I believe in the resilience of Southlanders. We're creative. If we face up to a problem, we know how to work around it. I mean, who would have said, oh, we're going to get Sir Anthony Hopkins to come to our city and make a movie on you know, Burt Munro? You would think that was a crazy concept, and then we'll have events every year after that that bring $1 million into the city. It's just, we can resolve any problem that's thrown at us if we have the political will and if we have the courage of our convictions. We don't need to sit back and twiddle our thumbs and say, oh, we're too backward and we're too inferior and we couldn't do something like that. Let's give the government back its $440,000 and say, this is too hard for us because we're too weak and we're too pathetic. I don't think that's how our city will progress.
Who's paying? I mean, you've got to look what's happening with Tiwai, I mean, with the freezing industry. I mean, you know, we've got a very low wage economy down here, and I mean, the average person, you know, can't afford this, for goodness sake. I mean, times are tough out there, and I mean, is it going to come from Venture Southland, or you know?
Where's the money for the cycle tracks coming from? Where's it coming from? We know it's going to cost $3 million.
Yep,
$3 million to build a bike track from Bluff to Invercargill. Where's the money coming from?
I'm not talking about Bluff and Invercargill. I'm talking about the round the mountain cycleway, which has got committed funding from government. That's not an event. That's something that would happen 9-10 months of the year.
Who's going to maintain those tracks?
Well, it's going to be funded by the people that pay for the accommodation. They pay for the accommodation, and then money goes towards that, a percentage of that towards the maintenance.
Well, I think that's great.
It is good.
It's wonderful. But why be positive about one event and negative about another event?
Because the Round the Mountain Cycle Trail is not an event. It's actually something that's ongoing, and it happens every day of the year, and it grows. And I think actually you need to go and talk to your ratepayers and say, you know, what do you guys think about the A to B yacht race? Because, you know, we haven't got much money around here, and where's it coming from? And what's the actual tangible benefits? Where's the analysis of this? I'd like to see that. It's great that the government's offering up, you know, $440,000, but where's the money coming from to prop it up?
I think you should have the courage to say, I believe we should send that money back, and say we don't want it because we're incapable of using it.
But I want to know that you are capable of using it, and I haven't seen any of the figures around that. That's what I'd like to see. Where's the cost-benefit analysis, you know? Where's the figures? How the hell are you going to get down there in Bluff and put those moorings up? What are you going to do to the main street of Bluff to make it a great place for these yachties to come to? Because quite frankly, it doesn't look that flash to me at the moment. Well,
I went to Fremantle last year, and I'm afraid, Ellie, it didn't look that flash either to me. It was windswept, it was cold, it was...
There's Ruby here.
Oh, sorry, Ruby. It was quite desolate, and it was going through quite a hard time. It had a great run when the America's Cup was on, but this is looking at an ongoing event, a Bluff Oyster Festival.
One weekend of the year. How on earth do you sustain that for the rest of the year?
But that's all events.
Ruby, we're going to have to leave it there because we've got other callers on the line. Thanks very much for your call anyway tonight.